Rock to this beat.
Welcome to another episode of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. I am your boy, Captain Will. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe to Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will so I can continue to bring you that gospel of Gamecocks every single day. You are now, if you're new to Captain Will, you are now rocking with the best. And since you're rocking with the best, come rock with your boy, Captain Will. We got a good one today, y'all. We are recapping the first official basketball practice for the South Carolina women's basketball team that occurred yesterday. The first official basketball practice. And we all know, if you've been following South Carolina basketball, you already know that we've been working hard during the summer. This is the first official basketball practice, but they've been getting it in all summer. They've been getting it all summer. We've seen the videos, we've seen the clips, we've seen the Instagram videos that the ladies have put out. We've seen the Twitter posts. We've seen all the stuff on social media. We've seen the hard workouts by Molly. We've seen all the preparation that led up to this day on September the 28th of the first official basketball practice. And what I want to chop it up a little bit about is about what was said during Dawn Staley's press conference, what was said during Raven Johnson's conference interview, what was said during Te-Hina Paopao's interview, and just have a conversation about that. First off, with Dawn Staley. Dawn Staley, who I love, who I've been rocking with since 1992. Been rocking with Dawn Staley for 31 years. That make me sound old as hell, but that's how it's been. That's how it's been. Dawn Staley, say what you will about Dawn Staley. I will rock with Dawn Staley to the ends of this earth. She will speak her mind. She will fight for her players, and that's how I was when I was on active duty. When I was a leader of men and women, I will rock with my soldiers. I will take up for my soldiers, and regardless if it's good or bad, happy or sad, they are mine. You are not going to talk about my soldiers, and you're not. And I love the way Dawn Staley does with her girls. You're not going to talk bad about her girls, regardless if it's Aja Wilson and the MVP voting. She's gonna give her opinion, and she's not only gonna give her opinion, she's gonna give it in an articulate way to explain what happened. We all know if you watch WNBA basketball, and I'm sure most of you do, if you watch WNBA basketball, we all know that Aja Wilson should have won the MVP again. We know that, and that's not because she is a Gamecock. That's not because she's a living legend. It just states that because of her numbers that she established during the season, also corresponding with being the reigning defensive player of the year, she should have been the MVP. And Dawn gave her opinion about that, and she stated that as such. And Aja Wilson will come back better and stronger because she is a lifelong Gamecock. She is the best that we've had, and that just makes her stronger as a player, mentally, physically, and emotionally. Okay. Dawn Staley also talked about this group being different than any group she's had before because of what they've had established in the past. This group is different, y'all. And we lost a lot from the past season, multiple players. So it's going to take time for this group to get it going. It's going to take time for continuity. It's going to take time for this group to, as she said, to stack days over and over again. Not just do it one day. Not just get it right on a Monday, but to get it right on a Monday, Tuesday, and a Wednesday. To stack great days over and over and over again. But that's going to take time. This team definitely has a talent. Come on. The team is loaded with talent. But the team is going to take time. This team is going to take time to get the motor running. It's going to take time. It's going to take time for this team to get it all together. But that's what practice is about. That is what practice is about this upcoming season. Training camp this season is more important than any training camp in recent memory because you have players that can play, but you have players that have not been in leadership roles since they've been a Gamecock. Now we go back to high school and things of that nature where there was a leader and the best player since sliced bread. But on this team right here, on this team, we have multiple players that can be the leader. But I think that it's going to be a leadership by committee type thing going on, because even like what Te-Hina Paopao was saying, that she has the most experience as she's the most experienced guard on the team, which is true. She's the most experienced guard on this team. She's a senior. She started for 3 years at Oregon, Pac-12 conference player, all conference team. But she's new to this team. She's new to this team. So what she did in Oregon was great, but translating that to this team is going to be a transition. It's going to be a transition. So it's going to take time. So she is the most experienced basketball player who's a guard on this team. But learning the concepts, learning the way Dawn Staley coaches, learning the way the coaching staff coaches, it's going to take some time. Kamilla Cardoza did not have to be a leader on this team. She had the leadership of Leah Boston. She had the leadership of Taria Saxton, Bree Bill, all those players. Zy Cook. She didn't have to be the leader. She didn't have to be the leader in the post, because Aaliyah Boston was the leader. She was the quintessential leader for multiple years for this team. But now Kamilla Cardoza has to step up and be that post player, be that dominant force that we know that she's going to be, but also be a leader on this team and lead these young post players on this squad. She's 22 years old. 22 years old. She's a grown woman, but she has to lead Sanaya Ja. She has to lead Chloe Kitts. She has to lead Ash Watkins. She has to lead these players. She has to Sanaya Fagan, Chloe. I mean, it's just so many players. She has to lead those. Teach them the right, and it goes beyond basketball. It goes beyond basketball. We're talking about study habits. We're talking about doing the right thing on and off the court. All these things that affect young basketball players. That's what she has to do. Raven Johnson, starting her redshirt sophomore year. And I have to say that, redshirt sophomore year. Because if she hadn't got injured, this would be Raven's third year in the program. If she ain't got injured and tore ACL, this would be her third basketball year in the program. But she's actually a sophomore, kind of. But she has to be that leader too. Being the point guard automatically makes you a leader, because the ball is in your hand most of the time. You're leading the offense, and being the point guard of a South Carolina team is also being the coach on the floor and doing everything that Coach Dawn Staley wants you to do on the basketball floor. So she has to have an increased leadership role. And I believe that she will. I believe that Raven has the mentality, the personality, and the skill, because that's what you have to do. Listen to what I said one more time. The mentality, the personality, and the skill to be South Carolina's leader on the floor, on and off the court. I think she has, because the whole, and Raven spoke about that during her interview. Raven spoke about how the whole Caitlin Clark wave off thing, how it affected her. I mean, and I've talked about it before. She said that to me before. That how it affected her, and a lesser person who's not as strong as her, how it would have affected them more. But yeah, it affected her. It affected her for sure, especially with social media, especially how people talk crap about you and then hide behind a tweet or a post or things like that. But what Raven said, it just okay, it is what it is. I'm just going to the gym and work harder. Just going to work harder on my shot. It is what it is. It ain't the end of the road. She knows she's a baller. She knows she's going to continue to be to improve as a basketball player, so that don't happen again. I believe in Raven Johnson, and I believe that she's going to have a great year. I believe she's going to be all SEC this upcoming season, and I just believe that she put in the hard work, both physically, putting up making her body as fit as possible, but also putting in the extra jump shots, putting the extra mid-range shots, putting in the extra shots on the free throw line, being quicker to defend on the defensive end. That's what I believe about Raven Johnson. So it will be a leadership by committee type atmosphere until there is a quote unquote dominant leader for this squad. It is. A couple things I also want to talk about. It was Sanaya Fagan. The question was asked about Sanaya Fagan and her growth and what's the expectation for her this upcoming season. And Dawn basically said that she's been improving, she's been getting better, and she said that she has the opportunity to have a breakout season, have an opportunity to start. And I've been saying for the last couple months, I've been saying that Sanaya Fagan will be a starter on this basketball team. I've been saying that she will be a starter on this basketball team. Not only be a starter, but play very well this upcoming season. Now, and some of this stuff might be coach speak because I know this is the first practice. Dawn is not going to give out nothing. She ain't going to say nothing in regards to giving other coaches a tip to other coaches on some of her players and things of that nature. But I will say this right here. I expected Dawn to basically say that Sanaya was going to be starting. That's what I thought. That's what I anticipated. But that wasn't delivered to me like that. It was delivered to me that the position is still up for grabs. And if the position is still up for grabs, you're talking about a Chloe Kitts, you're talking about an Ashlyn Watkins, we're talking about Sanaya Fagan. We have a trio of players that are fighting for that forward position. So it's going to be interesting in the whole training camp. It's going to be interesting to see how it matriculates throughout the training camp and when we have that scrimmage exhibition game on October 22nd against Rutgers, to see how these minutes are dispersed, to see who's the first five. It's going to be really interesting to see because I want Sanaya Fagan to be the starter. But if Sanaya Fagan isn't the starter and the position goes to Chloe or Watkins, then the best player won out, and then the next player will come off the bench and get minutes. If Chloe ends up starting at the 4 position, you have a player who is very versatile offensively and defensively. If she starts, you have a player who is 6'2", 6'3", with long arms, who can pass the ball, could rebound the ball, who is not afraid on the offensive or defensive end, who is a dog and would let you know that she's a dog, who can also extend her game to the high post and give room for Camila Cardoza to do work on the inside. If you have Ashlyn Watkins starting, you have the most athletic player on the team who can pretty much do anything on the court down low, who will jump over anybody, who is stronger than anyone. And if you have Sanaya Fagan, who the most offensive talented post players Dawn has ever coached, it's going to be a tough decision. It's going to be a tough decision on who starts and how these minutes are dispersed. It's going to be something to watch. One thing, like with Raven Johnson, she was asked a question about Malaysia Fulwiley, and of course the reporters are from the Columbia area, so they want to know about Malaysia Fulwiley since Malaysia is a Keenan superstar, hometown girl, and I understand completely. The question was basically, how is Malaysia coming along, and have you defended Malaysia and things like that. Raven says she don't recall defending her during the practices, but they played together 3 years at AAU. If you know girls basketball in high school, if you know AAU recruiting, you know that they were playing together FBC United. You already know that, okay? You already know. So you know they've been going head up for years and years and years. So it's not a shock for Malaysia to get to this level and to be playing with or playing against the likes of a Raven Johnson and Watkins and Cardoza and all the like. But the gleam in her eye, when Dawn Staley was asked pretty much the same question, she says that Malaysia's different. Malaysia's different. She's different than any freshman that she's had because she could do things with the basketball that no freshman she's had can do. That's a huge statement. That's a huge statement. But she also said that Malaysia's going to make mistakes. She's going to do turnovers. And then also she's going to look like the best thing since sliced bread. I think that Dawn is tempering the expectations of Malaysia without actually saying how great this girl is going to be. I think when it's all said and done, that Malaysia will go down as not only as one of the best guards that South Carolina's had. We had a lot of awesome guards in the Dawn Staley era. Lots of awesome guards. I think that Malaysia will go down as one of the best basketball players that Dawn Staley has ever coached. How many minutes she gets this upcoming season will be interesting because it's going to be tough to keep her off of the floor. It's going to be tough, but she's going to make mistakes. She's a freshman. This is what I was rocking with the other day when I did a video. Talented freshmen are going to make mistakes. Talented freshmen don't need to be put in uncomfortable situations when you have talented juniors and seniors, unless you have to. Now, with this basketball team, we have talented juniors and seniors and Camila and Te-Hina Paopao and Sakima and Sanaya. We have some talented players, and we got some talented players on this squad. But you're going to have a player in Malaysia Fulwale who is lightning in a bottle and is going to light it up whenever she gets on the court. So Dawn has something special, but she made also a point that she said that some of the things that Malaysia did in high school that was so easy, she can't necessarily do at this level. So she had to dig in her bag and be a little bit more creative. She didn't say that she just stepping back and the moment is too big for her. She just had to dig in her bag and do something else. The bag is wide open for Malaysia Fulwale, y'all. The bag is wide open. And I expect greatness for Malaysia. If next year after, we're going to see something special in this girl. We are going to see something special in this girl going forward, this upcoming season and mini season after that. Dawn Staley had an interview and talked about 13 minutes and talked also mentioned about, with Nikki McCray and how it's amazing that they're able to do this fundraiser that NCAA approved of, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a real game, a 40-minute game against Rutgers. Not like sometimes like we do a spring, like in football, you do a spring practice game where it's really controlled and almost like a practice, but it's going to be a real game. And we will see a lot during that game. But most importantly, it will be a basketball game. It will be a basketball game, be an exhibition game. It's going to be Rutgers playing hard, be South Carolina playing hard. But most importantly, this game is going to help fund cancer research. And again, I talked about this yesterday. I implore everyone who attends this game, make sure you donate. Make sure you donate. Because cancer is going to affect someone if it's not already affected you. So make sure you donate and make sure you celebrate Gamecock women's basketball and women's basketball in general. This concludes another episode of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. I'm your boy, Captain Will. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe to Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. You are now rocking with the best. And since you're rocking with the best, come rock with your boy, Captain Will. Let's go.
to this beat.